before we do anything involving exercise, we always need to warm up our most complex girdles, which are our shoulders and our hips, along with warming up our core. Okay, so first we're going to start with a little shoulder warm up called shoulder circles or arm circles. Now, one of the main things here is that they're not called arm swings, they're called arm circles, okay? So we're gonna always stay very, very controlled because there's so many little muscles in here that we can easily tear if done improperly, okay? So, this is pronated and this is supinated. First, we're gonna start with our arms pronated, palms down, starting with very small circles and progressively getting bigger. After 10 circles, you should be as big as you can go. Now we're going to supinate them and go backward. Now that we've done pronated forward and supinated backward, this time we're going to do supinated forward and pronated backward. Good, now our shoulder girdle is warm. Now that our shoulders are warm, now we're gonna warm up our core, okay? We're gonna warm up our core with what are called planks, okay? So in a plank, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start flat on the floor with our arms parallel to each other. We're gonna sit up nice and straight. Don't allow your hips to drop or your hips to rise, okay? We want our hips to be nice and flat, our body to be straight, and don't allow your shoulders to cave in or your shoulders to round. We want to be a nice flat neutral back. And we're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. Once we've held that position for 30 seconds, now we're going to do side planks. Side planks are the same as a front plank, only now we're going to get on our side. So what we're going to do, we're going to stack our feet up. We're going to bring our shoulder blades back, push our hips forward, and sit up nice and straight. We're gonna hold this position for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna flip over and then do the other side. Now that we've done a front plank and 2 side planks for 30 seconds each, that means that our front part of our core and our side parts of our core are warm. So now we wanna warm up the back part of our core with Supermans. In Supermans, we're gonna lay flat down on our stomach. We're going to put our arms straight out with our thumbs facing upward. Everything is going to come up at one time, but we want to do this nice and slow and controlled. We don't want to hurt ourselves doing this. So all at once, we're going to use our shoulders, our upper back, our lower back, and our glutes to rise up. Squeeze nice and tight at the top, and slowly release down. Up, squeeze tight, slowly release down. Up, squeeze tight, and slowly release down. We're gonna do 15 of those, and then our entire core is warm. Now that our shoulders are warm and our core is warm, we're gonna warm up our hips. So, in order to do that, we're gonna lay down in a straight line, similar to how we did our side plank, only we're gonna stay lying down. Toes gonna be pointed forward, and all we're gonna do is raise our leg upward. After 10, we're gonna move this leg out of the way, use our arm for balance, and raise up our leg with our groin. After 10, we're gonna flip over and then do the other side, and then your hips are warm. Now that we've warmed up the specifics, now we're just gonna get a nice general warm-up going to get our blood flowing and to get our heart beating a little bit. So what we're gonna do is just jog nicely on the spot, okay? So right from here, this is what it's gonna look like. Nice and easy. And from the side, it looks like this. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can bring your knees up higher and nice and fast. But if you just want to do a nice little warm-up, just nice and slow. We're gonna do this for 5 minutes. Now the complete warm-up is done. Now that the warm-up is complete, Now it's time to go into the main part of the exercise. Today the exercise is going to be high intensity interval training based. High intensity interval training is best for balancing brain chemistry and stress. All the research is showing that it's the best for body composition and weight loss, and for strengthening our immune system and our cells. So, the first exercise we're going to do are called burpees. You guys have probably seen these lots of times before. So, what we're going to do in a burpee is we're going to jump up in the air, we're going to come down to the floor, do a push-up, and then jump ourselves back up, okay? This is what a burpee is going to look like. Now to modify this, all we're going to do is get ourselves down to the floor and back up. We're going to perform this exercise at 30 seconds on and 30 seconds rest for a total of 3 rounds. Now that we've finished our 3 rounds of burpees, we're going to do 3 rounds of what are called Spidermans. So Spidermans, we're going to get ourselves into a push-up position, and all we're going to do is try to bring our left foot up to our left hand. Now if we can't get all the way up there, it's totally okay. Just try your best. Left foot to left hand, and now we're going to switch ourselves from to our right foot to our right hand. Now if you want to go fast, you can go fast. And if you want to modify it and make it a little bit easier, you can go a little bit slower by 1 foot at a time. We're going to do this for a total of 30 seconds on and 30 seconds rest for 3 rounds again. Now that we've finished our 3 rounds of Spidermans, we should be breathing pretty heavily. And now we're going to do 3 rounds of what are called skaters. So skaters, we're going to start on our left foot, and we're going to push ourselves off as far as we can over to our right foot. We're going to land nice and balanced and push ourselves back over like this. Now if you want to modify this and make it a little bit easier for yourself, what you can do is get yourself in a squat, step across, step across, step across, step across. And we're going to do that for a total of 3 rounds, 30 seconds on and 30 seconds rest. Now that we've finished our 3 rounds of skaters, we should be getting pretty tired. And we're going to do our last exercise called squat jacks. Squat jacks. We're going to start with a wide stance, and all we're going to do is jump in, and then when we jump back out to our wide stance, we're going to squat down and touch the floor with the opposite hand each time, okay? So we're going to start wide, jump in, jump out, touch with our right. Jump in, jump out, touch with our left. In, out, in, out. Now to modify this and make it a little bit easier for yourselves, what we can do is widen our stance out. We're going to squat down, touch the floor with our right. Squat down, touch the floor with our left. And now the main exercise is complete. 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off for a total of 3 rounds.